Hello and welcome. Two big teams, brilliant games. First game, Virat Kohli, Devdutt Padikkal, Rohit Sharma and Ryan Rickelton yesterday. Plenty to talk about there as well. Cameron Green, Ajinkya Rahane's comment, Cricket Australia clarifying today that KKR very much in the loop. Then why did Ajinkya Rahane say that? Is something that one needs to ask. Is Ajinkya Rahane implying something? Did he not know? If he did know, why would he not say that Cameron Green has this issue and Cricket Australia has communicated this? These are questions that can be asked. I mean, serious questions that can be asked. Or is it that Ajinkya Rahane was communicated very late when his team was under the pump? It was as if Ajinkya Rahane was, in the boxing ring with his hands tied. So these are questions that one can ask. Virat's batsmanship of a different class the other night, clearly showing that this anchor role is not something that you can do away with as long as you have class. Clearly showing that it is about winning the game. On the other hand, Rohit Sharma yesterday night was sublime. Absolutely sublime. I mean, that shot of Varun Chakravarti over cover, or rather over mid-off, squarish mid-off, was a gem. Some of the shots that Rohit played was absolutely brilliant. So, two big nights when the whole day goes in, Sensex falling, crisis in LPG and petrol and fuel and energy and all of this. And then you realize that at least in the evenings with some decent games, some decent, matches and Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, you at least feel good about it, because otherwise the whole day, you know, uh, that's the whole point. I mean, you're quite disappointed the whole day, and you kind of feel that this war needs to end, peace has to come. What is going on in our world? That's why I think the IPL is a bit of a relaxed thing in the evening. That the whole world, I mean, it's negative everywhere. It's negative everywhere, and that's where I think tonight, Chennai Super Kings. I would have absolutely loved to watch MS Dhoni. I would have wanted to watch MS Dhoni just because of the fact that it's MS Dhoni. No other thing. And that Kashi Vishwanath interview, which went viral yesterday, we will take questions. Let me one by one sort of decode that entire interview. By the way, Kashiji and we have been speaking every day of the last 5-6 days. We've been wanting to do this interview. Then yesterday, when Kashiji, day before yesterday, when he landed in Guwahati, we spoke right then. It was around what, 8 o'clock at night. And then we said, okay, let's do it the next day. Yesterday around 4:30, 4:45, before this show, I asked, shall we do it now, Kashiji? Kashiji was agreeable. He said, let's do it now. And then I said, no, let me finish 5 o'clock and then we'll do the interview properly. He spoke at length. He spoke his heart out about the franchise, about the fan army, about the passion, about yellow love, about Dhoni, about Ruturaj, about Ellis, about Brevis, about everything. Every single Ravindra Jadeja. And it was a very, very good interview. I've got all the respect for Kashiji. I mean, a genuinely nice man, a simple man, has been a hardcore CSK pillar of support for Mr. Srinivasan and for the rest of the management. One by one, let's decode the team. Coming to CSK, I think it's a tough season, and I will make no qualms about it. I think it is going to be a very tough season for CSK, much like KKR. KKR, no Harshit Rana, no Akash Deep, no Mathisha Pathirana till 6th of April. Cam Green, no bowling till God knows when, 9th of April at least. All these bowlers. So no Harshit, no Mathish, no Akash. 3 gone. Add Cameron Green, no bowling till the 9th. Varun Chakravarti off form, and then you think, oh boy, what is the future of KKR? Similarly for CSK, it is a team that has an incredible fan base. Perhaps the most enterprising fan base among all IPL franchises. RCB will obviously come close. MI will come close. But CSK, definitely one of those big franchises. When I think that no Mahendra Singh Dhoni, so the impact that MS Dhoni has as a leader, Ruturaj captain for sure, but MS, no Nathan Ellis, I think is a big blow. I know Kashiji said that they have Matt Henry, they have Jamie Overton. I think Matt Henry will play. That ball to Pathum Nisanka, for example, in the World Cup, tremendous from Matt Henry, tremendous. Wobble seam, using the seam. But Nathan Ellis's wicket-taking ability, I think, will be missed. I absolutely think Nathan Ellis's wicket-taking ability will be missed. Dewald Brevis, I think, is the biggest blow. I think one of the biggest blow for CSK is the absence of Dewald Brevis for at least 2 games. That's what he said. Neil, why don't you play that clip? A lot of people have asked about Dewald Brevis. Brevis to miss 2-3 matches. Gautam Ghongade. How many match Brevis will miss? Please tell me, sir. Jyoti Kubari. CSK forever. UC Manikandan. Too much batting friendly pitches. I'll come to that. M zone. Weather update. Manikandan. Lot of questions. But let's kind of start with the Brevis thing and anybody else. Today's pitch report. How many match will Brevis miss? We've taken that. Good evening. Hello, G. Bhavya Shah. Let's play the Brevis clip, Neil, and then I can kind of elaborate on what Kashiji said to me on Dewald Brevis. Go on.
Star of this season, Kashiji, is Dewald Brevis. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he has the ability to do well. He's in good form, but he's also slightly injured. He has a side strain. He may not be probably able to play for a couple of games, but after that, it should be okay.
But in terms of talent, the way he batted for South Africa, the way he batted in that South Africa T20, even in the final where he got 100, that guy is one to watch out for. Do you reckon he can be a real future star for CSK?
Yeah, he will be a future star for CSK. We have watched him over the years. In the last couple of years, we were watching him in the SAT20. His form was brilliant. So that is one of the reasons why we picked him as a replacement when we had the opportunity last year. So that here in IPL also, he started off very well. And we are very, very hopeful that he will be the star of CSK in the future years.
So there you go. There you go. Kashi Vishwanath talking very highly about Dewald Brevis. I think Dewald Brevis will be a big miss. When you are playing a tournament like this and you're already kind of not 100% with the absence of an MS Dhoni, who hasn't, by the way, traveled with the team to Guwahati. When we broke the Dewald Brevis news yesterday around what? Around 5:30 p.m., people started putting out memes saying, here is Dewald Brevis with the team. Look, if it is a breaking from me, I can tell you with due humility. I mean, I have come way too far to put out a news break without being 100% sure. Frankly, whether I break news or not break news doesn't matter to me anymore. I am not in the news business. I don't do regular reporting. That's not my job anymore. My people do it. But if I'm putting out something, please note that I've got double confirmation, and that's why I'm putting out. I mean, a lot of people started putting memes under that tweet from Rev Sports, and thereafter, that's why I decided to put out that Kashiji quote, the video that you just saw. And then obviously Stephen Fleming came to the press conference about an hour and a half later and confirmed it. The point is, Dewald Brevis will be acutely missed. I don't think Chennai Super Kings has a replacement for Brevis. The way he played for South Africa in the World Cup, even that match against India, Jyoti Kumari, I think you've got your answer. He says a couple of games. I think it is about a week, 10 days max. So maybe one more. 2 to 3 games is what I know or I've understood. So today is one, maybe one more or two more. That is what I know as far as Dewald Brevis is concerned. So Jyoti, I think within from the fourth match for sure he should be able to play. Fingers crossed whether he will be able to play from the third game onwards. So 2 to 3 is what I know, Jyoti. But Brevis, that game against India, for example, brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, he was 15 of 15 balls and then that explosion came. South Africa went to 187 in Ahmedabad and trumped India by 76 runs. Dewald Brevis and David Miller were the two architects of that South African win. Brilliant innings from Dewald Brevis. Even in the India series, the way that, not looking six, Dewald Brevis has been phenomenal. He's a top art. He's a top batter. Incredibly good talent. That final where Pretoria Capitals lost under Saurav, Dewald Brevis got 102. So Dewald Brevis is a massive addition to the Chennai Super Kings, and at the start of the tournament, he will be acutely missed. The other player who I think in my battle, I will want to see today is Matt Henry versus Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Because when I think of a Vaibhav Suryavanshi, he could be the star of this IPL. He, Yashasvi Jaiswal, you know, Shimron Hetmeyer, and of course Rian Parag at number 4. They form a fantastic top 4 for the Rajasthan Royals. Now, Vaibhav will come all guns blazing. Matt Henry, who has this ability to move the ball, is a very wily bowler. That's where I think there's a matchup there, Vaibhav Suryavanshi versus Matt Henry, or even Yashasvi Jaiswal. That's where I would think that Ruturaj Gaikwad will miss the expectation, will miss the leadership or game awareness or understanding of MS Dhoni. I think that's where I think it will be missed. And the one guy who can step up from behind the wicket is Sanju Samson. MS Dhoni's place will be taken by Sanju Samson. He will have to play the role of a leader, help out with Ruturaj Gaikwad, see what he is observing from behind the wicket and communicate that. So I think that has to be a very, very key element as far as the communication between Ruturaj and Sanju Samson is concerned, more so in the absence of an MS Dhoni. What did Kashi Vishwanath have to say on Sanju Samson? Sanju Samson will have a massive role in CSK colours. I asked Kashiji multiple questions on Sanju Samson. I think Neil has a clip for us. Neil, can I have the Sanju Samson clip, please?
To Samson, because the whole world wants to know after his World Cup, Sanju Samson will possibly keep wickets if Dhoni is not playing the first 2 weeks. Tell me a little bit about Sanju Samson.
See, obviously, Sanju will be keeping because Dhoni is not going to play. Sanju's form is great, and he has been knocking well in the nets also. So we are hoping that he will give the impact that CSK is looking for during the current season. So that's a setback for us. But anyhow, we are very confident with Flem and Sanju in such great form. We will have a good season.
What is the kind of response you have seen so far from the fans with Sanju Samson?
See, the response has been fantastic. For example, when he opened the batting for India in the Zimbabwe game in World Cup at Chennai, he was welcomed like he himself was surprised that he had such a good backing. So that is the beginning. Then we had what I would call a pre-launch for the CSK on the 22nd at Chennai. At that point of time, also when Sanju came in, it was a tremendous welcome for him, which would have definitely encouraged him. Of course, Tala came later, which was much high. Dewald Brevis also had a very good backing. The question is, like, as far as Sanju is concerned, we don't want to put any pressure on him because we know his capabilities. I have not spent much time talking to Sanju because I met him only a couple of days back. And during practice, I never go and disturb them. I'm very confident that Sanju, with his abilities and with his form, should be a great bet for us.
So there you go. Kashi Vishwanath on Sanju Samson. Let me take some more questions like I did after the first clip. Okay. Arre baapre, too many questions. CSK forever, UCO Manikandan, too many batting friendly pitches, M zone. BCCI needs to improve on pitches that have something for bowlers who also want to see swing pace. Wait, you've just seen 2 games. You've seen 2 games on relatively smaller grounds. Wait for Ahmedabad, wait for Kolkata, wait for multiple other grounds. Even Guwahati, I don't see. You will see, I don't see Guwahati that kind of a batting wicket. So wait, definitely wait. We will see what kind of wicket awaits us. I think it's too premature or too early to jump to conclusions. Weather update, don't know. Not in Guwahati, Manikandan. So I have absolutely no idea what weather update there is in Guwahati. Abhishek having a bad season, YJ good season. Will he get replaced in the Indian team? Too far-fetched. Why are you only talking about YJ? Why are you not talking about Vaibhav Suryavanshi? Why are you not talking about somebody else? Somebody else like even a Shubman Gill wants to make it back, could have a very good season. A breakout season from Priyansh Arya. That guy could have a big season as well. So why are you only talking about Yashasvi Jaiswal? Uh, who's this? Abhya. Abhay H. Abhay H2801. Please bring Trishadi to the show. I am a big fan of women's cricket. That's why I subscribe to the channel. It's my first time watching men's cricket. Trisha will do women's cricket, and women's cricket is one of the big planks for us. I don't think any other platform will send 4 or 5 reporters to the Women's World Cup in June. So Manikandan, 4 or 5 reporters, including Trisha and Snehashish. I will do the Women's World Cup myself. The women's team will travel to England ahead of the World Cup. Trisha and I will be doing that also. So there will be huge amount of coverage on the women's game. India versus South Africa, there will be everyday shows. So the women's game is something that we take very, very seriously. CSK playing 11, difficult to say, but some real stars, some good players there for sure. And needless to say, Ruturaj and Sanju Samson and some of the players, the way Shivam Dube, I thought Kashiji's answer on Shivam Dube was also a very interesting one. Shivam Dube, after his World Cup exploits, is also somebody I will be very keen on observing. In the bowling, I for example, want to see Matt Henry open. I think the pace bowling is slightly problematic, Tushar and people, but Matt Henry is a top-notch act. Matt Henry has not been given his due. So more than Jamie Overton, I would want to look at Matt Henry. CSK playing 11, I've taken that. Urvil Patel, definitely. Ayush Matre, Urvil Patel, some of these guys are extremely talented. Urvil Patel, I was watching some of the intra-squad and practice videos, and they have been doing very, very good. Very, very good. So Urvil Patel for sure, for sure. Anurag Kaushik, Jai Siaram, of course, boss. Jai Siaram. Will Karthik Sharma, Prashant Veer, big monies, big monies in the auction, but we'll have to see what transpires there. Big fan of KL Rahul, Chaudhary Gamer. KL Rahul is a quality act, but much like Ajinkya Rahane, can he score at a consistent strike rate of 180, 190 in the new form of T20 cricket, which is high risk, high reward? I have serious doubts. Are Boria gambling with pitch curation? What? Gambling? Stephen Moraes. Gambling and pitch curation. Did not even understand what you're trying to say. It's not about batting, faking teams with bad gambled pitches. You had the World Cup with similar pitches. So this sarcasm and cynicism, you can shove it up. Simple as that. Okay, so I don't think there is any need for this. It is a top-notch tournament, and the kind of batting quality that we have seen in the first 2 days need to be lauded. Whether it was from Virat, from Devdutt Padikkal, from Rohit, from Rickleton, so also partly from Finn Allen. I don't think this gambling or whatever you are trying to write, which makes no sense, make any kind of this thing. Very strongly condemn. Condemn what? Condemn what? IPL and BCCI governing council. Condemn what? You have seen 2 games. Who the hell are you to condemn? 2 big games. You have seen the World Cup, which had 250 runs. What are you condemning? What are you condemning? You've seen 2 games. 2 games where a Shardul Thakur picked up 3 wickets. The bowler also got the player of the match. The nature of the game has changed to high risk, high reward. What are you condemning? Wait for every game. Wait for at least the first round to be over. Then come and say, okay, every pitch was like this. Or if you are condemning about unidimensional pitches, then also you have to wait for a few more games before you condemn. So keep your condemnation to yourself. Will Karthik Sharma, Prashant Veer? We've answered that. How many match Brevis will miss? We've played that clip straight away. Neil, I think you've got a very interesting clip on MS Dhoni. Can you play the Dhoni clip, please? And I will talk a little bit more about that.
like God. He's not a Tamilian. He's not one from your area. Yet, the kind of fan following craze that I see for this man in Chennai is he's demigod. He's like this larger than life personality. Again, will he play in the future? I don't know. You can answer that. But you had said to me once he will always be part of CSK. So two-part question. Will you say that when Dhoni doesn't play, some point will happen? Will it dent the fan base, or because he will be associated with CSK, no problem? And how and why did this Dhoni phenomenon become the Dhoni phenomenon?
As far as I'm concerned, as far as Dhoni is concerned, I think as a human being and as a cricket player who has done so much for CSK, the Chennai team, which is loud, cricket loving public of Chennai will always back a player who has contributed so much. That is one of the reasons for Dhoni being so popular there. He is also very popular outside of Chennai and outside of Tamil Nadu also. But Chennai and Tamil Nadu probably stand out in that. When I said that he's going to be part of us always, it is my wish and the franchisee wish that Dhoni in some way or other should be connected to the Chennai Super Kings throughout his life. We have not spoken to him. Mr. Srinivasan is the only person who can speak to him on that. And I think probably he will do it in the coming year whenever he decides to hang his boot.
So two things there. I think it is very clear that MS Dhoni will be the only person who will finally decide when he decides to hang his boots. And Kashi Viswanathan making it very clear that personally, at least, he would want MS Dhoni to be associated with the Chennai franchise for as long as possible. And the only man who will have a conversation with MS will be Mr. Srinivasan. And he also went on to say, as part of that interview, which is on the Rev Sports platform, there have been a number of articles already out on that MS Dhoni will be missed in Guwahati. Definitely his leadership ability, his ability to see the game and help and guide and advise Ruturaj, all of these things will be missed. I know, Boryada, no other channel does as much for live shows and supports women's cricket like Rev Sports does. They're always on top. I'm one of those guys who watches 1am. Ah, you are one of those guys who watches 1am. Please don't watch. Let them sleep, and you also sleep, my friend. You also sleep. Watch till 11:30 and then have a healthy sleep and get up at 6 o'clock. But tell them also I've said it. But please, get your sleep. Get your sleep. No point in doing 1am live shows. I've told both of them that calm down. 1am live shows with your cup of coffee will ruin your entire sleep. But yes, delighted about the comment that you made. Very pleased with your support, but not 1am. When India won the World Cup, they were young team. CSK without Brevis. Who's this? Sponge somebody. Wait, too many questions. CSK without Brevis still strong to defeat RR. Yes, they have a good side. Having said that, see the RR, as I said, the top order: Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rian Parag, and of course, Hetmar, Shimron Hetmar, taking a leaf out of West Indies book. He can be pushed up to number 3. That's a very strong top order. And I don't see anybody except a Matt Henry in the CSK ranks who can genuinely stop any of these 4. So against Vaibhav and against YBJ, it will be very, very crucial how the top bowling attack performs in the first few overs of the power play. If Henry knocks a couple off, the whole game can be different between CSK and RR. If Henry isn't able to knock a couple off, things can be very dire for CSK. Very, very dire. Ankit Saha, the weather update, as I said, haven't really checked the weather or asked people. I can ask a couple of colleagues in Guwahati right away and give it to you, but no rain in Tripura, cloudy, etc., etc. Okay, we'll see. Ankit Saha, why ICC not taking strict action, ball tampering issue in PSL? I have also seen that. Ban Pakistan players who have done this. No Pakistan players in overseas leagues. We have to see where this is headed. Let there be an investigation. Ultimately, the league is a domestic league. Let the Pakistan board investigate first. Let things happen there. I mean, if the ICC jumps in and all of a sudden starts to take action there, it will also not look like. So calm down. Let's see if the PCB is trying to sweep it under the carpet or what action they are taking. Then the ICC can do what it needs to. All CSK fans, yes, CSK massive fan base, and I have enormous respect for these fans. You know, the CSK fan base which traveled in that train, that Whistle-Podu Express, for example. I have enormous respect for these fans. CSK, Abhishek having a good season, I've answered that. CSK fan, Sahu Seer 9904. One of the biggest fan bases in India is CSK. There's a fourth clip from that Kashi interview. Let's play that because that's another really nice one, and I will come back with more. Neil, can you play the fourth clip, please?
Strategy to not have Nathan Ellis, because that injury I thought was a bit of a blow for you.
Neil, audio.
Yes,
Neil,
Nathan
there's no
Ellis's
audio in this.
injury is a bit of a blow for us because he's
Neil, I'm
such a
not
good
here.
bowler and we expected him to be the death bowler for us. So that is a setback. But injuries are part of the game. We can't do anything. We have Matt Henry and our own domestic bowlers, Anshul, Khalil, all picking up. And I think we should be able to do better.
Okay. So there you go. That's the final clip. Sanju News. I've given you the Sanju News, my friend. Vicky 5665. Sanju News is Sanju Samson will keep wickets. Sanju Samson was received with open arms by people in Chennai on the 22nd. Was one of the people who had the maximum roar and support when he came out. He alongside Mahendra Singh Dhoni, when Mahendra Singh Dhoni came out, Sanju Samson will be the wicket keeper and leader who will have to help Ruturaj. All of this. How come second off bowling teams? No, they're not looking like buffoons at all. I think KKR unfortunately have half the bowling act. So if you see a team that was built on a Mathisha Pathirana, you spent 18 crores on that guy, Harshit Rana. So you're talking about between them about 28 crores. Cameron Green was paid 25 crores because he's an all-round option. All of a sudden, the guy picks up a back strain and doesn't bowl. Akashdeep was picked up, again, Eden Gardens home soil, not there. Harshit Rana not there. Pathirana not there till the 6th. What does KKR do? So clearly, half the bowling attack is not even there. So in the absence of practically to accept Varun Chakravarti, who is not in form, and that is another problem, that Varun Chakravarti has just not been in form. That's the other big problem for KKR. So it's not about buffoons. And by the way, they are IPL players or international players. By using the word buffoons, I think no club level player also can be called a buffoon. So I would urge you to use some words with a bit of respect. I can use 25 words which will make you look like an absolute buffoon. And my understanding of English is slightly better than yours. So calm down and get your act together. 67 of 40, Rahane versus Muzaraban. Rahane versus, I understand. Rahane was slow later only because they lost Allen and Green. Rohit had Rickleton throughout. But you can't be slow. It's as simple as that. Story, spark, motivation. Your team scored 220. 220 means a strike rate of 190. Now, Ajinkya had a strike rate of 168. If you score at that strike rate, your team gets to 195. Frankly, the par at the Wankhede was 240. So you are 40 down. In this strike rate of 165, 170, will Ajinkya be able to win a cricket game for his team? I doubt it, especially in smaller grounds like Wankhede or the Chinnaswamy, even Eden Gardens. Eden Gardens is a 65, 67 meter boundary. It is not a 75, 80 meter boundary anymore. So Ajinkya, who batted well in the power play 6 overs for 78, you cannot slow down. You would just lost a few. You could have had a Rinku, Raman, Anukul, all of them go hammer and tongs. If you have a Ajinkya has to continue hitting the same way and cannot slow down. 165, 170 strike rate in this day and age of high risk, high reward, when 220 is par, cannot suffice. And Ajinkya has to understand that. Has to understand that. Match shot to Vaibhav and Jaiswal, Hetmeyer, exciting battle in power play. 100%. Right arm spinners to these three left-handers, crucial. Win or lose, always CSK fan. That's how it should be. Fandom cannot have any bearing whatsoever on a win or a loss. You will always be the fan that you are of a player or a franchise. What's wrong with KKR and SRH bowling that they could not defend? Ujjwal, you have to understand, I said this. KKR built a bowling attack with Harshit, Mathisha Pathirana, Cameron Green. Three of them didn't bowl. Harshit is gone. Pathirana will come only on the 6th, will possibly play from the 9th. And Cameron Green picked up a back strain. Cricket Australia communicating that whole Ajinkya Rahane statement that go and ask Cricket Australia tells me that Rahane was upset, miffed, frustrated, and could also be that the instruction or the mandate from Cricket Australia came in late. Now, when you have three of your premier bowlers, Harshit gone, or four, Akashdeep gone, Mathish Pathirana hasn't arrived, and Cameron Green not bowling, and then you have a Varun Chakravarti not in form, no one can have magic to be able to do that for KKR. On a Wankhede wicket where you see the World Cup semi-final, 250 was scored and was almost chased down. So you have to understand that it's a 230, 240 par and not 210 to 20. BCCI not scrapping impact player. We will suffer after Bumrah and Test. The impact player debate is a serious debate and there are points on both sides. So this is a relevant question with points on both sides. A lot of people have also spoken about impact player. Whose question was this? Malik Zahid. He's asking Matt Short and Urvil playing. Urvil for, I think, definitely will. Matt Short, we have to see what kind of foreign combination they go with. Do you think Green cheated KKR, registered him as a batter to get more money and then saying he will bowl, then he becomes unfit to bowl? I have very strong views on this. I think if it was communicated that he would be bowling as well and they picked him as an all-rounder, if he's not able to bowl, you should pro rata deduct money. I think there should be a provision under the BCCI mandate that we paid this guy 25 crores for being an all-round option. If he's not able to bowl 4 matches, you kind of, reduce pro rata money for every match that he's not able to bowl. This cannot be free money. It cannot be that anybody comes to the IPL, earns free money, back strain, whatever strain, and you are not being able to service the franchise. This is a ruthlessly competitive cricket tournament where the franchise is suffering because of your inability to bowl. We had planned a team. KKR can rightfully say that they had built a team basis the fact that this guy will bowl, and that's why they spent 25 plus crores. So I think there has to be a compensation of some form, for otherwise this is becoming a bit of a free flowing money. That cannot happen. If he's not able to serve the franchise in the exact way, then he has to take a pro rata pay cut. What will BCCI do even after spending 25 crore? Cricket Australia dictating Cricket Australia this decrease IPL standard? No, it is not Cricket Australia dictating or anything like that. And the BCCI can't do it. This is not the BCCI's thing. It's pretty simple, Abhishek. If a player who has been picked for a particular role isn't able to serve, his board will obviously inform about an injury if he's picked up. Then there has to be a pro rata compensation that the player pays or a penalty that the player's money will be deducted. It's as simple as that, because the franchise or the BCCI cannot suffer. In this case, the franchise way more. The franchise cannot be suffering on account of the fact that Cam Green is in bowling. So that, I think, has to be a mechanism that has to be put in place by the franchises and the board. 33 of 21, Rinku was definitely not par batting too. I agree. Rinku needs more time. 32 of 21 means you are batting at a strike rate of 150. 150 is not enough in this day of high risk, high reward. 33 of 21 has to be 43 of 21 for Kolkata Knight Riders to be on par at the Wankhede. Unless that happens, you will see what transpired. This is no longer a 140, 150, 160 strike rate game. Things have gone up to 180, 190, and that's an absolutely valid point. I think I will end there. Taken quite a few questions. Let me also say this: from tomorrow, the 5 p.m. show for 5 days will be done by Gargi Raut. I will be traveling and I will not be doing the show for 5 days. Gargi will be doing the 5 p.m. show with our colleagues. I will obviously be there and keep writing my pieces. But as far as the shows are concerned, unless there is a dire need for me to come, I will not be on the show for 5 days and will be on a break. So have a great start to April. Hopefully the war ends. Hopefully there will be some decent news around the corner. Enjoy the IPL and thank you very much.